I'm always one step behind, wishing I could read your mind, but I'm ready, yeah, never ready. I wish I could have made it stop the first time that you stood me up. I wasn't ready, yeah, never ready.
Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm using this Mudmasky Facial Detox Purifying Face Mask. I use this like once in a week and I've showed it a few times before on my YouTube channel, but this is definitely my favorite face mask. It tightens my skin, it removes all the dirt, and I just feel like my foundation applies better afterwards. I wish I could use it every day. I'm not sure if my skin will take that, but I really like to use this now and then. So now I'm going to use the Skin Recovery Replenishing Face Cream by Paula's Choice. I'm using this now for I guess 2 months, and yes, it just moisturizes my skin. I don't really know what to say about this. And for my foundation, I'm going to use the Urban Decay All Nighter Foundation. I use it in the shade 5. Normally I mix it together with shade 3, but I use fake tan on my body, as you might have seen, so it matches perfectly with my fake tan. So I'm using my beauty blender to blend it all over the place. I like a face with full coverage, so I apply like 4 pumps. This is a really high coverage foundation, so you don't really need a lot of it. I think I used around 4 pumps, but with 2 pumps you will also get full coverage. So now I'm going to use the Tarte Cosmetics Shape Tape Concealer, and I'm using it in the shade Light Medium. I'm using this underneath the eyes and also a little bit above the lips, on the chin and on my forehead. And I know everyone is using this concealer at the moment. I think you will see every makeup artist on YouTube use this, but I swear to you guys, this is the best concealer I've ever tried. I'm not a huge fan of all the products by Tarte Cosmetics, but this one is so amazing. I prefer using this one over the NARS Creamy Concealer, the Urban Decay one. Yes, this just melts perfectly into my foundation. So now to set the concealer, I'm using the Bobbi Brown Pale Yellow powder. This is a loose powder. So I'm going to apply a amount on my chin, also underneath my cheekbones, and on the sides of my nose because it tends to get really oily. So I just let it sit for 1 minute so it kind of soaks into my foundation, and then I immediately wipe it all away because I don't want it to be very harsh on the skin. So now for my primer on the eyes, I use the MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot. And the first eyeshadow that I'm going in with is the White Lies eyeshadow by MAKEUPGEEK. And this is to highlight my brow bone. If you follow all my videos, you know I use this always. And I'm just going to apply this straight underneath the highest point of my brow. And now I'm going in with a shadow shield because I have no idea if I'm going to have fallout, and I'm going for a sharp finish eye looks, and this will really help. And I'm going to use this Lime Crime Venus palette. I got a packaging from Lime Crime in the mail. It was the first time trying out their products. And I'm going to start with the shade Rebirth. This is a very pretty shade. It's like a sort of peachy shade, which I think is so gorgeous, and it matches well with my eye color. But I think it will also look really well with brown eyes. So I'm just going to blend this all over the place in my crease using a big fluffy brush. And I just applied a lot of this shade because I wanted it to be very obvious. I really wanted to see that really peach undertone. So I'm just going back and forth with this shade. Now I'm going to use the shade Shell, which is also a sort of peachy shade, but it has more shimmer. And I'm going to use my MAC 242 brush to press this a little bit at the beginning of my eyelids. And you can make your brush wet if you want a more intense finish. Now I'm going back in with the Rebirth eyeshadow, that pretty peachy shade. And I'm using a blending brush, and I'm just going to press this softly all over the eyelid. And at the same time I'm also going to blend this in the crease. Since I've also applied this in the crease, it's really easy. And now I'm going in with the shade Creation. I'm going for a sort of winged look today, a smoked out wing. So I'm going to start with this shade to build up that sort of shadowy smoked out effect. And I'm using a tiny blending brush by Morphe. So as you can see, I'm just going back and forth around the shadow shield and on my lower lash line. No, not my lower lash line, my lash line. And I'm going in with the shade Muse. which is a warm brown eyeshadow shade, but it also has some sort of redness inside of it. So I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm just going to blend this along the lash line, and as you can see, the shadow shield comes in really handy since I don't need to be very precise. I can just blend my brush back and forth along the shadow shield. And I'm just going to build it up, make it darker and darker. I just pick up more product until I feel like it's dark enough. And now I'm going in with the shade Icon, which is a very dark brown shade, and I feel like it has a sort of cool undertone. And I'm going to do the exact same thing as I did with the other shades, but I switched my brush into a Morphe M506 brush. This one is more at the fluffy side, it's just a little bit more fluffier. Now for my eyeliner, I'm going to use the Sigma Wicked Gel Eyeliner, and I'm just going to coat a thin layer above my lash line. And I removed my sticky tape, no, not my sticky tape, my shadow shield, because I feel like for applying that sharp line, it's more handy to remove it. And I'm going in with the NYC liquid liner to create a very sharp line. And now I'm going to create a tiny wing. I'm not going for a very big wing because I want to smoke this line out using eyeshadow. So if you want it more thick, you can use eyeshadow. So now I'm going to use the Icon shade again, the dark brown. And I'm using a very tiny brush, and I'm going around the edges of the wing that I created. I'm sort of trying to smudge it out together with the dark brown eyeshadow to create a smoky effect. I hope this makes sense to y'all. And I have to be honest, I don't do a smoked out wing very often, so every time I'm just trying to experiment. So now I'm going to apply some lashes, and I use lashes from my own lash company, and this is the style Silly. And I used lash glue from the brand House of Lashes. That's my favorite at the moment. And I'm using my fingers to softly press this towards my own lashes so they kind of melt together. Now I'm going in with the shade Muse again, and I'm going to blend this at the outer edge underneath my lower lash line. And I'm going to smoke it out using the Rebirth eyeshadow. So I'm just going to softly press this underneath the eyes, and at the same time I'm also going to blend it out so it melts together. I really like this peachy shade, I really like it. And now I'm going in with the Shell eyeshadow again, which I also used at on my eyelid. And I'm going to softly blend this a little bit in the inner corner and at the beginning underneath the lower lash line. So now for my mascara, I'm using the MAC Extended Play Giga Black Lash Mascara, my all-time favorite. It makes my lower lashes really long. People very often ask me like, how are your bottom lashes so long? Well, it's because I use this mascara, it's just freaking amazing. So now it's time for the face, and I'm using the Mineralized Powder by MAC. And I'm using a big fluffy brush by Morphe just to set my foundation. Since I was busy with my eyes, my skin always tends to get a tiny bit oily, so I first set it with powder. And I'm going to use this Jouar Sunkiss Suntan bronzer. And I'm going to softly blend this on my cheekbones, a little bit underneath my jaw. How do you call it? I don't know, but you saw where I did this. And also on my forehead. Now I'm going to use the Ofra Rodeo Drive highlighter, one of my favorites. It's so freaking pretty. I first made my brush wet since one of you recommended this to me in my latest video, because I said I had a lot of fallout with this one. And yes, it really helped. It made it apply a little bit more easy. And I'm also going to apply a little bit on the bridge of my nose and above my lips. Now I'm going to use this blush, and it's so pretty because it kind of matches with my eyeshadow. So yes, I just wanted to go for a peachy blush so it kind of complements each other. And I'm going to blend this on the apples of my cheeks towards the highlighter and bronzer so everything melts together. For my lip pencil, I'm using this Peachy Keen lip pencil by GERARD Cosmetics. I'm going to slightly overdraw my upper lip, nothing too crazy, just a little bit. And when it comes to my, how do you say it, my bottom lip, I don't really overdraw it. It looks really weird if I do this. And in this video I'm going to show two options for my lips. So first I'm going in with this lip gloss by Anastasia Beverly Hills. And as you can see, it's really peachy and it's almost the same color as the eyeshadow. But I just wanted to show you this complete peachy look. And at the end of the video I will also show a more dark lippy. But first I'm going in with this NYX Dewy Finish Spray. I used it in my previous tutorial and I just felt like it made everything look so pretty and melded into each other. So I really wanted to use it again. And yes, this is the end result of the peachy version. I think it looks really fresh and nice for summer. And now I'm going to show you the dark lip version. So I'm using this MAC lip liner, which is perfect for when you go for a dark lipstick. I feel like it's a sort of brown, but also it has a sort of pink, no, not pink, purple undertone. And yes, I really like to use this whenever I go for a very dark shade. So again, I'm going to slightly overdraw. And I'm going in with this new shade by the brand Lime Crime. And this shade is called Scandal, and I feel like it matches really well with the lip pencil. And this shade also looks sort of dark purple. I think it's really pretty. I wasn't sure if it was going to match with the eyes, but I think it turned out really well. Let me know in the comments which version you like more, the peachy version or the version with the dark lips. Don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And I hope to see you in my next video. Bye guys!